everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the Create Online Sessions for Carers Week. This year, the theme for Carers Week was making carers visible. Of course, that's not been possible in the way that we would have hoped, but we still feel it's very important that carers know how valued they are and that it's recognised what an important service carers do for their friends, their family, and for everybody in our society. We hope that carers are able to give themselves just a little bit of time each day just for themselves, and perhaps you might like to try out some of the activities that you see here on our Carers Week videos. Today, first of all, Tia's going to be talking to you about positive thinking, and then I'm going to tell you about 3 good things. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tia, and I'm part of the Create team hosting online sessions during Carers Week. Thank you for joining me for today's topic on positive thinking. I will be talking you through some slides on the subject, so let's begin. The purpose of today's session is to look at how our thoughts, emotions and behaviours are interlinked and the ways in which we can develop positive thinking. Let's take a moment to look at this image. The idea is that if you see the glass as half full, you're more likely to have a positive outlook, and the opposite if you see it as half empty. If the glass seems to appear half empty, the good news is you can train your mind to shift your thought pattern, but it won't happen overnight. Like any form of training, it takes effort, regularity and consistency for a habit to be formed for you to benefit. All you have to do is decide if it's worth it. This illustration is a prime example of how our thoughts can impact how we feel, which will have a knock-on effect on how we behave. This is as much applicable to self-talk as it is reacting to a situation based upon the interpretation we choose to give it. We all experience the consequences of our thoughts in one way or another, so how you think will determine your direction. As mentioned earlier, changing one's thought patterns from the negative to the positive will be a gradual but sustained effort, which requires some work. Let's look at some strategies to help you develop the habit of positive thinking. You could begin by monitoring your thoughts. It may help you to keep a pen and a notebook at hand to enter the negative thoughts that arise from within or from a situation you find yourself in. As the saying goes, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Once you become aware of the negative thoughts, you can work on finding ways to change that way of thinking. Studies show practicing gratitude has a positive effect on physical and psychological health by helping you to focus on positive experiences in your life. Our minds are quick to focus on things to complain about, but when it comes to being thankful, it needs a little help with mindfulness. Make it a daily habit to observe your interactions with others and yourself, and start expressing gratitude to someone who's helped you, the shop assistant who served you, the refuse collector. It could even be for your body for the daily grind it goes through. Many people have found having a gratitude journal or a gratitude jar useful to serve as a reminder. The list is yours, it's personal, and it's a sure way to train your mind to focus on the good things which will have a positive effect on the way you feel and behave. Making time to do something you enjoy can be really challenging for some carers, but it can be something such as making time to sit down to have your lunch away from distractions, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes, or have a nice cup of tea. Self-care plays an important part, so whatever you choose, just be mindful of the moment you're in. Try to relax and enjoy. We've already mentioned the effects that gratitude can have on the body and mind. However, what we put into our bodies is just as important as the thoughts that occupy our minds. Studies show mood-boosting foods such as bananas, blueberries, eggs, and omega-3 rich fats are just some of the foods which can lift the spirit, including dark chocolate, for those of us who have a sweet tooth. Then there's exercise. Did you know just 20 minutes of daily exercise can help release endorphins, which will improve your mood? So take your pick by introducing small changes that will make a big difference. Surrounding yourself with positive company isn't as simple as it sounds, because we all have to engage with certain members of our family or people through work who don't necessarily display positive attributes. However, you can choose who to interact with socially, and as the illustration shows, company can be contagious. So where you can, choose wisely. Don't forget, what you read forms part of your company, so you can read something uplifting or listen to a TED Talk to inspire you. We may have come to the end of the slideshow, but hopefully it will be a new beginning for you. I hope you will have found this introductory session useful, along with yesterday's session and those that are to follow, and you will allow yourself time to adjust to the strategies you choose to adopt. The slide that follows lists resources you could tap into, along with details of how to contact the Create team. All that remains to be said is, happy thinking!
Thank you for that. Something that people can find helps to make them feel positive and happy longer term is by just thinking short term of the small positive things that happen in a day. Human beings naturally notice and focus on the bad things that happen, and this is a survival technique that has allowed us to focus on dangers and notice risks around us. Unfortunately, translated into modern life, it does tend to mean that we still focus on the bad things and forget about the good things that are happening to us all the time. Just imagine if you walk to the shops and you see several of your neighbours. Most of them might wave or smile or stop for a friendly chat. If one of them seems to blank you or looks at you in a funny way, I bet that's the person that you'll go home worrying about, thinking, have you said something wrong, or why are they cross with you? And if you're anything like me, you might forget about the positive, friendly chats you had with the neighbours. This technique is called 3 Good Things, and I'm going to talk to you about it now. 3 Good Things is a very easy, simple technique where each day at the same time, I find the evening is the best time, you stop and think about 3 good things that have happened to you that day. They could be events, they could be small moments that made you glad, or something that made you happy that day. Write down those 3 things. You don't have to write a lot, just enough to remind you. And as you write them down, think about, what did you do? Why did you enjoy it? How did it feel? Why was it a good thing? Do that every day for a week. And at the end of the week, have a look back at what you've written. Just remind yourself. Carry on, do it every day for another week, so that you've done the exercise at least for 2 weeks. At the end, you will find that it's easier to focus on the positive things, and that gives you a better balance if you're one of those people who tends to think about the negatives. Just to have a look at this graph. This graph shows you the results of an experiment. Some people carried out the 3 good things exercise each evening for 2 weeks. They felt more positive at the end of 2 weeks, but they still felt more positive even after 6 months compared to the people who hadn't done it. It really does help your brain to focus on the positive things. I hope you try it. Thanks for that, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.